The death penalty would only officially be made illegal in the UK in 1998. However, it would be 24 years earlier, in 1964, that the last two prisoners sentenced to death would be executed. On the 13th of August 1964, Peter Anthony Allen and Gwen Owen Evans would be led from their cells to the gallows. 10 seconds later, they would be dead, their necks broken by the hangman's noose. The two men would be unaware at the time, but their executions would be the last in the UK due to a more liberal public which was becoming more uncomfortable with killing criminals. Some historians and experts believe a few weeks' delay may have seen the men reprieved. The duo were convicted of the murder of 53-year-old John Allen West, who was beaten and stabbed to death at his home in Cumbria on the 7th of April 1964. The two men would travel to the victim's address in a stolen car. Evans knew the victim, and it seems the motive was robbery, as the two men claimed they needed money to pay a court debt. In the early hours of the morning, neighbours would report hearing several loud bangs, screaming, and then the screech of a car being driven away. The victim, John Allen West, had suffered 13 head injuries and a single stab wound to the heart. The knife would be ditched and found nearby. The murderers escaped with a watch and around £10 in cash. This single act of horrific violence would cost the lives of 3 men. Once arrested, each man would blame the other for striking the fatal blows, but the jury did not believe this and found both men guilty of the murder of John Allen West under the joint enterprise law. And the two men would be sentenced to death by hanging. This would still be a controversial verdict at the time, as people's attitudes towards the death sentence was changing. It's argued that if the men's trial would have been delayed, or even if it was a few months later, they would have received a sentence of life imprisonment, avoiding the death penalty. But on the 13th of August 1964, Peter Anthony Allen and Gwen Owen Evans would be executed at Walton Prison, Liverpool, becoming the last two prisoners to ever be sentenced to death in the UK, although it wouldn't be until 24 years later, in 1998, that the death sentence in the UK would be officially abolished. This was a quick story about two of the last prisoners to receive the death penalty and to be executed in the UK. If you like the content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.